In today's video, I'm going to show you 5 things that you should never do on PrizePicks. If you're new to the channel, my name is Derek. I'm a professional sports bettor, and I've made almost $200,000 in gross winnings on PrizePicks. Here you can see the amount of lineups I've won and my amount won. I'll go ahead and refresh the page so you guys don't think this is cap. I've been betting on PrizePicks for almost 2 years now, and I've made almost $50,000 in net winnings from this amount won number. So guys, that's the first thing. If you see this number, amount won, this only means the amount of lineups that you won. It does not include your losses. Including all of my losses, I am up almost $50,000 in net profit. In fact, I won so much money on PrizePicks that a few months ago, they completely banned me, and I can only bet $25 per day, $5 per bet, and I'm gonna show you that right now. Here I'm gonna go to the NBA. I'm just gonna choose 2 random props, Kevin Durant over 27.5 points, and Zach LaVine under 37.5. I'm gonna try to put $10 on this, and you guys can see when I hit submit lineup, it comes up and it says the maximum lineup amount for one of the sports in your lineups is $5 right now. I'm gonna go over to college football. I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Jeremiah Love over 41.5 rush yards, and Carnell Tate over 40.5 receiving yards, a 3x. I'm gonna try to put $7 on this, submit lineup, and you can see the exact same thing. I can only bet $5 per bet, $25 per day, and that's because I've taken PrizePicks for so much money. When I show you guys this, I am not trying to brag, I'm not trying to show off, I'm trying to demonstrate to you that I know what I'm doing, and I'm one of the only people on YouTube that can actually show you that I am banned, and I am one of the only people on YouTube with a transparent track record of beating PrizePicks for thousands of dollars and not even being able to bet on the platform anymore. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you 5 things that you should never do on PrizePicks, and keep in mind while you're watching this video, guys, everything that I say is based off of the math and based off of the data. This is not my opinion. I'm gonna show you concrete numbers and mathematics to back up every single thing that I say. So if you watch this video and you continue to do the things that I tell you not to do, you are a fool and you should not be sports betting. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. The first thing that you should never do on PrizePicks is bet more than 1% of your bankroll on one play. And this is called proper bankroll management. The first thing that you need to decide when you start sports betting on PrizePicks is, what is my bankroll? A bankroll is how much you put aside for sports betting and sports betting only. This should not be money that you need for bills. This should not be money that you need to pay off your college tuition. This should not be money that you're gonna put aside for investing. This should be money that is only for sports betting, whether that be PrizePicks, FanDuel, DraftKings, etc. Some common starting bankrolls can be $100, $200, $500, or $1,000. Most people who are watching this are probably around the $100 to $500 mark. The reason why you want to set aside a bankroll is because you're supposed to put this money into the sports books and not touch it and leave it there. Because you're supposed to be compounding your winnings on top of each other and leaving that money inside of the books. So let's say you put in $200 and you get that up to $300. You're gonna raise your bet size, right? You're gonna raise your bet size from X amount to Y amount, and then you're gonna keep betting. You're gonna make more money. Eventually you get to $1,000, and then you start betting more. So you really wanna leave that money inside of the sports books. A lot of people, they like to make profit, and then they immediately just withdraw it to their bank account, which makes no sense at all. You wanna compound that money on top of each other and keep betting more. That way you can get from $1,000 to $10,000 to $20,000, etc. And the way that you're going to do this is by dividing your bankroll into units. If you guys are familiar with sports betting at all, you might have heard the word unit. A unit is a designated amount of money that you put on each play. 1 unit is equal to 1% of your bankroll. So let's say you have a $500 bankroll, right? Let's say you're this person with a $500 bankroll. Simply divide by 100. 1% of 500 is $5 units. This is the maximum that you should ever bet on any play on PrizePicks ever. Like I said up here, guys, you should never bet more than 1% of your bankroll on one play. I will make one exception to this rule, and that is on Taco Tuesdays and on discounts. On Taco Tuesday, every single Tuesday, they have these discounted projections on PrizePicks. So for example, Giannis, his points were cut to 26.5. On these tacos, you have a very high chance of hitting them because obviously it's discounted. So you can play around 2% of your bankroll if you want. As you can see on this one, we played for $10 to win $30. With a $500 bankroll, that would mean you're betting 2% of your bankroll, which is okay if you're betting on tacos or discounts. Here's a discount that they had the other day. Mike Evans, he was cut from like 90 yards to 52.5 yards. We cashed out on this slip 2 units, technically, with a $500 bankroll, 2% of the bankroll to 130, and that is A-okay because discounts and tacos are very profitable. A lot of people might say, oh, 1% of your bankroll on one play, $5, that's boring. Well, I would never do that. You should bet at least $20 if you're gonna have a $500 bankroll. And to these people, I say, if you feel like that, you need to realize that sports betting is a long-term game where you build your bankroll up slowly over time, and you want to minimize your losses along the way while you do this. So I'm gonna go into a dead simple example, so simple that a second grader could understand. I'm gonna tell you why you should not bet more than 1% of your bankroll on one play on PrizePicks. Let's say you have a $500 bankroll and you decide you're gonna bet $20 per play, which is 4% of your bankroll. This is a lot of money. And then let's say you lose 10 bets in a row, which by the way, guys, is completely normal on an app like PrizePicks where you're betting on parlays. It is completely normal to lose 10 bets in a row and still be a winner and come out positive at the end of the month. I am living proof of that. I'm gonna take you inside my PrizePicks and show you exactly what I mean. Here we hit a slip for 3x, we hit a slip for 3x right here, we hit a slip for 5x right here, and we hit another one for 3x. Altogether, this is 12.5x. So right here, we have 12.5x in winnings, but we have a loss here, 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 we have a refund here, we have a loss, we have a win, we have a refund, we have a loss. So guys, you see there are a lot of losses, but when you hit on PrizePicks, you're gonna hit big. You're gonna hit for 2x, 3x, 5x, 10x, 25x, and these wins are gonna make up for your losses. Does that make sense, guys? If you have a 12.5x win, but then you lose 10 bets in a row, you're actually still up because these wins outpace the losses when you are a profitable sports bettor. So back to my example, if you lose 10 bets in a row and you're betting $20 per play with a $500 bankroll, you just lost $200, 10 times 20. This leaves you with only $300. That means you just lost 40% of your bankroll in only 10 bets. Do you guys see how silly it is to bet 4% or 5%, even 10% of your bankroll on a play? It's completely stupid, and it's gonna lead to you losing all your money and going back to hit that deposit button, which is exactly what PrizePicks wants. They want you to put in random amounts of money and bet recklessly. They want you to put in $200 and start betting 20 and lose all your money. And that is exactly what 99% of people do on this app. Now let's go to the second example. Let's say you're only betting 1% of your bankroll per play, like I recommend. That would only be $5 per play, right? 1% of 500. Let's say you lose 10 bets in a row, like I just said. You would have only lost $50. That is only 10% of your bankroll, guys. So betting 1% of your bankroll, it's not to become rich overnight. It is to make sure that you can weather the storm when you do have bad patches that are going to eventually come. It's going to make sure that you don't go broke when you're betting on these parlays. Like I said, when you do win, you hit big. You hit 5x, 10x, 25x, and these wins make up for these losses, and you slowly build your bankroll up over time, just like I said right here. So that is number one. Do not bet more than 1% of your bankroll on one play. This is bankroll management and units. The second thing that you should never do on PrizePicks, and I see way too many people do this way too often, is play a 3-man flex, a 3-man power, or a 4-man flex. Now, as you may know, on PrizePicks, not every slip type is built the same. Some slip types are optimal, and some slip types are not optimal. And to understand why some are good and why some are not good, you need to understand something called implied odds or break-even percentage. As you guys know, on PrizePicks, there are fixed payouts, meaning no matter what props you take, the payout is always going to be the same. So for example, I can take Wemby over 29 and Miles Turner over 15.5. That's going to be a 3x. I can change this to less. That's still a 3x. I can change this to less. That's still a 3x. I can take this off. I can put Franz Wagner less. It's still a 3x, right? It's always going to be the exact same payout. Because every single slip is the exact same payout, you can actually calculate the percent of your individual props that you need to get correct in order to make money over the long run. I know that might sound confusing, but trust me guys, it is super simple. So let's start with a 3-man flex. With a 3-man flex, you need to get 59.8% of your individual props. So that means these right here, Franz Wagner over 17.5 points. This would be an individual prop. You need to get almost 60% of these individual props correct. just to break even over the long run. If you guys are wondering what the math on this is, it's a pretty complicated math equation. If you want to, you can just type it into ChatGPT. You can just ask, what is the break-even percentage of a parlay where you have to get 3 things correct, and it'll show you 59.8%. But the point is, this is so high, guys. It is almost impossible to get 60% of your props right over the long run. And that's because most everything on PrizePicks is set by the line makers to be 50-50. So if you're getting 50% of your props correct on average, which most people are, but you need to hit at a 60% rate, you're actually going to have a very negative expected value, meaning you are literally guaranteed mathematically to lose over the long run. You need to hit at 60%, but you're only hitting at 50%. If we look at the 3-man power, it's almost just as bad. You need to get 58.48% of your individual props in order to break even over the long run. Most people I know stay away from these because if you guys look, a 3-man, if you get 5 correct for a power play, let me zoom in here so you guys can see better. If you get 3 correct, it's only a 5x. Most people, they kind of figure out, well, that's not really good, a 5x for 3 props. And then when you look at the payout for a 3-man flex, most people, without even knowing the math, they know that this is absolutely terrible. If you get 3 correct, it's only at 2.25x. If you get 2 correct, it's a 1.25x. This payout is absolutely abysmal. And once you do the math, you guys can see a 3-man flex and a 3-man power are not optimal at all. The next slip that I said never to play is a 4-man flex. With a 4-man flex, you need to get 56.89% of your individual props correct over the long run. This is a little bit better than the 3-man flex and 3-man power, but it is still really, really bad, guys. Almost nobody is hitting at a 56.89% correct. And if you think you are, feel free to go through your lineups and count the number of props that you got correct versus incorrect. I promise you it is nowhere near 56%. That's because, like I said, the people who make these lines on PrizePicks, they're way smarter than me and you. They have algorithms and they know how to make these props as close to 50-50 as possible. So you should never play the 4-man flex. Well, you might be saying, what about the 4-man power? The 4-man power is not that much better, right? 56.23 versus 56.89. The difference between a 4-man power and a 4-man flex is that you can use correlation strategies with a 4-man power. So, for example, Patrick Mahomes to go under his passing yards, and then we go to receiving yards, and we choose Hollywood Brown to go under his receiving yards. These 2 things are correlated, and then you can choose 2 more props to go with them. We'll choose Malik Thomas over fantasy score and Mitchell Saxon over rebounds. As you can see, we can get a 10x with this, and we got some nice correlation between these 2. If you guys don't know what correlation means, I'll talk about it in my other PrizePicks videos. I'm not going to go into it that much in this video. For now, let's move on to the third thing they should never do on PrizePicks. The third thing they should never do on PrizePicks, and if you see anybody on PrizePicks doing these things, you know that they have no idea what they're doing. You should never play goblins or demons. I see way too many people on social media promoting these demons, promoting these goblins. They think that they're smart, but in reality, this is one of the stupidest things that you can do on PrizePicks, and I'm going to show you why. In order to understand why you should never play demons or goblins, you need to understand that sports betting is about payouts. You want to get the most value as possible out of your payout, meaning you want to get paid out as much as possible for the bet whenever you can. That is how you make money sports betting. So here I have this random 2-man that I just made with 2 goblins. I made Miles Turner 9.5 points and Victor Wembanyama to go over 9.5 rebounds. So you might think this is pretty free, right? Well, let's go look at the payout, guys. The payout is a 1.4x, meaning if you put in $100, you make $40 in profit. I know it says to win 140. That is very misleading. This includes your original stake, so you're only making $40 in profit from this 2-man. If we go over to FanDuel, which is the biggest sportsbook in the entire country, we make this same exact parlay. Let's see how much they're going to pay out for this. So we're going over to FanDuel. We're going to type in Miles Turner points. We're going to choose him to go over 10 points. And then we're going to choose Wemby to go over 10 rebounds, if you guys remember. So we've got Wembanyama to get, let's see, 10 plus rebounds. We put these 2 together. We put $100 on it. You guys can see we would win $53.59. On PrizePicks, we're only winning $40. So that is a difference of $13 just from this one bet. A lot of people might say, oh, why does it matter? Oh, what if it hits, bro? As long as it hits, you're still making money. And this is a gross misunderstanding of how sports betting works. Sports betting, if you're getting paid out less than you should every single time on every single bet, this means that the house has the edge over you, and you are literally mathematically guaranteed to lose money over the long term. On this bet, you should be getting paid out somewhere around 160. Those are the fair odds, and that is a fair payout. But instead, what PrizePicks is doing is they take the amount of money that you should get, and then they take a cut out of it. This is called the house edge. So over the long run, you will lose money on this parlay. This parlay is negative expected value. I'm going to type this in. Negative expected value. You are literally guaranteed to lose money over the long run. Yes, I spelled guaranteed wrong. Doesn't matter. What you need to understand is that FanDuel, when they're paying you out $53, they also have a house edge. They are also taking a tiny bit out of this bet. So PrizePicks is doing that too. They're just taking a bigger slice out of this bet. You're getting paid out 40 here. You're getting paid out 53 here. This payout is not fair. This payout is even less than fair. These Goblins are a scam to make you think that you're winning, to make you think that you have a safe play, when in reality, they have a massive house edge and they are collecting thousands of dollars per day on these negative expected value Goblins. I'm going to do the exact same thing with these demons, right? I got Terry McLaurin to score a touchdown, and I got Saquon Barkley to score a touchdown. This $100 bet would pay out $300. So $200 in profit. That might sound kind of nice, but go to a sports book. Go to FanDuel, for example. I made this same exact parlay. I have Saquon to score. I know it kind of cut it off right there. But then I have Terry McLaurin to score as well. This $100 bet pays out $232 in profit. On PrizePicks, it only pays out $200 in profit. That is a massive $32 difference. Do you guys realize how big $32 is? And this is just on one bet. Like I said, FanDuel, they also have a house edge. They're taking a little bit out of this bet. The payout should be around $250, maybe $275. But the house edge is just so big on these demons and goblins on PrizePicks. Like I said, you are literally guaranteed mathematically to lose money. If you disagree and you don't want to listen to the math, go ahead and click off this video. You're never going to be successful in sports betting. So that is number 3. We are more than halfway through this list, guys. Never play demons or goblins. They are negative expected value. If you guys want to learn more about the concept of expected value and how to get the biggest payout, get an edge over the books, how I made over $130,000 betting on sports, you guys can check out my Discord in the description. I share all of my PrizePicks slips. I give you guys advice. I'm in there talking every single day, telling you how to beat the books. Not just PrizePicks, but FanDuel, DraftKings, Bovada, BetOnline, Underdog Fantasy. Literally any sports betting question that you could ever want answered. And I share my personal PrizePicks slips, as well as my slips on offshore sports books like Fliff, Bovada, BetOnline, etc. That's just my plug. The Discord is called Beat the Sportsbooks. Let's continue on with the video. The 4th thing that you should never do on PrizePicks is use these last 5 stats. I know you guys have seen these. This little bar up here in the top left, this is going to tell you the last 5 stats, basically what this player did in the last 5 games compared to the line that they have now. This stat, guys, is completely, utterly useless. It doesn't matter what they did in their last 5 games. All 5 of these games are independent events, and what they did in their last 5 games versus different teams, it does not matter. So, for example, Victor Wembanyama, his line is 29 points today. As you can see, in his last 5 games, he has gone under this line by quite a bit. In one game, he had 13. One game, he had 10. In another game, he had 21. So a lot of people, they might say, oh, he's gone under 29 in his last 5 games. He's a lock to go under, bro. Trust me, in his last 10 games, he's gone under in 8 out of 10. And trust me, guys, let me ask you this question. Why would PrizePicks put this here if it was useful? If PrizePicks thought that this was a good metric and that this metric actually mattered and this was a way to beat the sportsbooks, why would they give it to you? They wouldn't, guys. They put this here so that people think that it actually matters and that they make their decisions based off of this stupid metric, which is what they did in their last 5 games. You guys need to realize that The sports books, they already know what happened in the last 5 games. PrizePicks, they're not stupid. They have some of the smartest minds working on these lines in order to take people's money. They already know what happened in the last 5 games, and they take that into account when they make this line. They also take into account the lineups. They take into account how many minutes is this person going to play. They take into account the matchup. Who is Victor Wembanyama going to be going against in the post, right? What has the coach said about how they're going to be structuring their lineups and their minutes in these future games? And they take that into account and they make a line that is somewhere near 50-50. So would you just blindly choose Victor Wembanyama under 29 just because he's gone under in his last 5 games? If the answer is yes, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and just admit to yourself that this is not a good strategy. If it was a good strategy, why would they put it there, right? Let's look at another one. Franz Wagner, 17.5 points. Oh, he's gone over in, all 5 of his last 5 games. He's honestly destroyed his line in the last 5 games. 30, 35, 30, 20, 29. This does not mean that he's going over tonight, guys. It is extremely misleading. They put this here in order to trick beginner sports bettors who don't know what they're doing. Well, you might be asking, if you don't want to use the last 5 games, then what do you want to use? What you want to be using is some type of odds screener plus EV tool or something like that. And I'm going to be going into that in a few seconds. The 5th and final thing that you should never do on PrizePicks, and this ties back in with number 4, is bet based off of feelings or emotion. Every single thing that you do in sports betting, not just on PrizePicks, should be based off of math and off of data. You should be looking at odds comparisons across different sports books in order to find profitable and EV opportunities. You want to look for places where PrizePicks has messed up and is giving you a greater payout than you really should have. I've made almost $150,000 betting on sports, and none of it has been due to my knowledge of a sport, my knowledge of a player, my ball experience. It has literally been off of discrete data and off of models. And if you guys want to get access to all of my plays on PrizePicks, you guys can go ahead and join my Discord called Beat the Sportsbooks. This is where I give out all of my plays on PrizePicks. I also answer any questions that you guys have about sports betting. I will answer any question about expected value, how to place bets on PrizePicks that have an edge, the optimal slip types, etc. Now, this Discord is $49 a month, but I have a very, very, very special offer going, guys. You guys can get 2 months free of the Discord. This is a $100 value. 2 months for completely free by following these instructions and signing up for one of these 2 apps using my promo codes. Those instructions are going to be in the description. You guys just click on the link that says free trial. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope to see you guys inside the Discord. Hopefully you guys found this video informative. Go ahead and leave your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to like and hit subscribe. Cheers.